I think it's pretty safe to say that the 90s were a great era for Sonic the Hedgehog. Not only did it mark the beginning of the game-changing franchise we know today, but 5 major titles, a multitude of spin-offs, merchandise, and even a theme park all released within the span of a decade. It goes without saying that this era is definitely one of the prime moments for the franchise and built up the games we now know and sometimes love to this day. In this day and age, Sonic isn't looked upon as he was in this prime era. The best way to define this franchise in its current state is hit or miss. Every once in a while you'll hit a Sonic Mania, which reintroduced the world to the fact that Sonic can be a great franchise and what it means to really be a Sonic fan, and other times you'll get a vasectomy. As a result of Sega using zero brainpower within their range, most people look fondly back to the good old days of Sonic, the adventure games and the classic games. So, hearing that they were making Sonic Origins, a remaster of the classic era titles, I was extremely excited to play these games again. And again. And again. Considering they had Christian Whitehead and Headcanon, the people behind the mobile ports of the same games, and Sonic Mania, I was ecstatic for Sonic Origins. I mean, come on, this game could be the next Sonic Mania. It could reinvent the love that we all have for Sonic. Well, it looks like I'll be needing another vasectomy. Sonic Origins finally released, and wow, yeah, Sonic is blue in this one. This collection is the re-release of the Sonic 1, 2, and CD mobile ports, or if you're normal, a remaster of the classic era Sonic games. The biggest achievement of this collection is finally giving the crowd-favorite Sonic 3 and Knuckles a facelift after 11 years of disappearance due to copyright issues on the soundtrack. This collection is definitely Sonic. Contrary to popular belief, the Blue Hedgehog does go fast in this one, and he does collect rings. These are the exact same games you've been playing since the 90s. Some of them have their peaks, and others are Sonic CD. In terms of remastering or quality of life changes, these are just the mobile ports, meaning if you aren't insane, you have some new small changes, like changing the soundtrack in Sonic CD, the Spin Dash in Sonic 1, and Hidden Palace Zone in Sonic 2. I'm not going to go over each game in this selection, because I strongly doubt you want me to rant about Sonic 1 CD for 30 minutes, so instead, I'm going to be going over the collection as a whole. In terms of graphical changes, there's something really different other than a normal 16:9 mode, which is fine, since I really think few people wanted to see Sonic's chubby cheeks in HD. Tails and Knuckles are also playable in almost every game, there's no more live system, and my personal favorite small change, you can finally save your progress during a playthrough. Yes, that means no more holding in your pee just to finish Sonic 2. Finally. The drop dash also returns from Sonic Mania and feels beautifully snuck in here, almost as if it was meant to be in these titles originally. And for me personally, this was the biggest surprise of the collection. As for bigger changes, each game is now suited with a short cutscene at the beginning and end, except for Sonic CD, which for some reason still has an upscale version of its original cutscenes that they didn't put in 16:9, even though everything else in the game is. I do like these new cutscenes as they're in the style of Sonic Mania Adventures, which everyone loved, including myself. Each game is also split into Anniversary and Classic modes, which dictate the new changes from being implemented or not. I don't know how you could be in the ripe year of 2022 and still be playing Sonic 1 in a 4x3 format with zero changes, but hey, that option is there for you. You freak. The classic mode still has the letterbox customization, which in my opinion was underwhelming, but I've never liked it anyways, and the selection here is fine for what it is. A new mode, Mirror Mode, was also added here, and yeah, it's mirror mode. In my opinion, this was sort of pointless, but if you had a dream of Sonic going left, well, then I have some great news for you. A boss rush mode was also added, and while it's personally not my thing, the classic games are infamously known for their bosses, so this just makes sense to add here. The biggest new mode here is the story mode, which has falser naming than the Red Panda. The story mode needs bigger quotations on it than saying Sonic 06 is a good game. This mode is quite literally just all 4 games in a row, with each of the intro and outro cutscenes smashed in between them, even though you could very well play each game individually and get these cutscenes anyways. This story mode is more like a mode. There's no story considering all these games barely pull the games together, and the mode is literally just playing all 4 games back to back. Another addition aside mode is the new Blue Spheres mode. The biggest change with these new Blue Spheres levels are the spheres aren't blue anymore. Are you kidding me? Okay, so now we have mode and new spheres. Okay, this joke is actually really bad. The biggest addition here is the new museum, which reappears from Sonic Mega Collection, and honestly, this was one of the things I was really looking forward to for Sonic Origins. The music selection this time has more than enough music from each game, and even added songs from Sonic Generations and Smash Brawl. The art was a nice addition as well, but it definitely suffers from a few glaring problems that I couldn't help but see. I do see those pitchforks though. We're not there yet, calm down. The island in the menu is also a cool addition. I liked how it was used as an alternative for the menu, as each game had its own respective island with its own charm to it, including the new story mode and even the options. Overall, Sonic Origins on paper is pretty solid, and I liked a lot about how it was put together, and of course feeding into the nostalgia, each game serves its own purpose, even if it's Sonic 1 or CD. Okay, so if I like so many things about this game, how can it be a game that just exists at a 70%? Take a guess. Sonic Origins has some major glaring issues as per usual with the current Sega release. Especially for a collection, and as someone who has already played these games, there are a noticeable amount of issues, not even relating to the games themselves, but just in the design and the direction of this collection as a whole. Starting off with a problem that I feel plagues the gaming industry itself, the glitches. Now, this isn't a Sonic Adventure DX level of glitches, this is more of a Sonic Colors Ultimate level of glitches. Sorry, in a language that makes sense to people who have had sex before, that means it's not that bad. Similar to Sonic Colors, I didn't really experience any bugs or glitches that hindered my game experience to the point that some others are having, so for me this was a very minor issue. Another problem that people had with this game was the music for Sonic 3, which again, I didn't really have a problem with. In this game, the music that Michael Jackson worked on is replaced by a reworking of the old prototype music, which was a hidden gem found relatively recently. Sure, they may not sound exactly like how they were in the original game or even the prototype they're based off of, but in the game they definitely aren't as bad as people are making them out to be. I hope saying that will make me and Michael Jackson friends in the future. Oh, well, later in the future maybe. Achievement hunting has never been my staple. In fact, far from it. I never 100%ed a game on my Xbox in my entire life. Until today. This was by far the easiest and fastest 100% I've ever received in my life. In the achievement list, you have your normal beat the game achievements and activating Supersonic, which were fine. But getting air bubbles? That's not an achievement, that's a grocery list. Did 78% of people not even play the first game? Even the mission achievements you can receive for partially doing the missions. Why is there no achievement for beating all of the missions? Why are there no achievements for beating each game with all the Chaos Emeralds? Why is there no achievement for playing as Tails or Knuckles? Why is there not even an achievement for time traveling in Sonic CD? And I don't even like Sonic CD! None of these achievements are hard, there's no incentive to even want to play the game, let alone 100% it. I've never been one to try to 100% a game, but this one was so easily I did it accidentally. This game was easier to 100% than throwing Guitar Hero Live in the garbage bin. On top of that, the debug codes for each game still works, and still gives you the achievements, which gives you even less of an incentive to play these games, especially if you're a returning fan. Another issue I have with Origins is its coin system, which was way too bloated. You can play the missions alone for a few hours and already have enough to unlock everything in the game. On the topic of unlocking things, the museum has some issues too, which really disappoints me, considering we had a game 20 years ago that did this better. The art is way too focused on quantity over quality. Like, why would I want to see the sheet music for the sound effect priority list in Sonic CD, or the art for a random music CD. Oh, you guys forgot to add one more thing. This loop I made when I was 7 that is based on Sonic 1's Green Hill Zone. Some of the art is beyond random, which is odd considering as simple as Mega Collection's art was, as it was basically just comic covers, it was clean and was stuff we wanted to see as fans. Another issue with the museum is for both the music and the videos, there's no sort of media controls, meaning that you have to either watch the media in full or not at all. Some of these videos are minutes long from years ago. Why would I want to watch the Sonic Orchestra in full again? Oh wait, they made it shorter. Everything's okay. I take everything back. I'm sorry. The museum, while being an awesome addition, feels more flawed than it did 20 years ago, and that's definitely some of that classic Sega flair showing. Another issue is the mission mode, which suffers from the same mistake Sonic Adventure's newer console port made. They're both lazily put together, meaning both have missions that basically consist of doing one thing for 30 seconds and then suddenly you beat it with a perfect score. On top of that, this time it's ordered by difficulty, which is more wrong than the time I said we are the closest we've ever been to the perfect Halo game after Halo Infinite released. How is Tornado Flyby 4 stars, yet Critical Cargo, a mission where you defeat 10 enemies, is somehow 5 stars? These missions are lacking, and on top of that, sometimes confusing. They felt like a checkbox list to unlock things in the museum and felt more optional than any mission mode that I've ever played. My biggest issue with this game is the fact that it ends so abruptly. So let's say you beat all 4 games and unlock every photo, musical masterpiece, and video there is to get in the museum. What do you get? A cutscene and a punch in the nuts. You get absolutely nothing for beating the game whatsoever, even if it was a 100% completion. Look at Sonic Mega Collection, a game that came out 20 years ago with almost the same ambitions as this game. You have Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and even games like Flicky and Restar that are unlockable as you progress. And on top of that, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is split as Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which makes getting Sonic 3 and Knuckles even better, which this game doesn't do either. There is quite literally nothing to do after you beat all 4 games except for playing them again. Maybe this time you'll become a freak and play classic mode. This game is the exact case of what you see is what you get. Now, I'm not saying you needed any sort of surprise here, but considering we had a game 20 years ago for the same price with more in it, doesn't that sound insane? Oh wait, that actually sounds like 95% of the gaming industry right now. I didn't feel like I earned anything or achieved anything during my playthrough. I just played Sonic 1 through 3 and Knuckles again for the 5th time. This game makes me question so much. Like, why isn't Knuckles available in Sonic CD? Why are there so few changes apart from the mobile port changes? Why are the cutscenes cutscenes so short and barely do anything to connect the games like Sega said they would? Why did I have to pay $5 extra for basically nothing of value other than mirror mode, which was pointless anyways? Why does there need to be a chart for the differences in the game versions? Why are we doing things worse than a game that came out 20 years ago? Sorry, I just channeled my inner Sonic fan there. Let's set something straight. Sonic Origins is a game that exists.
He said it! He said it!
It's not necessarily a bad game, nor is it that fantastic. Or, in Virgin language, it's not Sonic Boom nor Sonic Mania, it's just a Sonic Lost World. It doesn't really do anything to push the Sonic medium forward like Sonic Mania did, which was the biggest letdown of this release for me. If you live under a rock and haven't played Sonic 1 through 3 and Knuckles yet, does this game achieve its purpose? Sure. Is it a solid collection saying word for word what it is on the box? Sure. If you've played these games already, is it worth buying? Well, I bought Sonic Forces on release day and somehow I still feel more scammed for buying this one. Sonic Origins feels as if Sega wanted to re-release the mobile ports on something other than the device you can take pictures of while you're still a virgin on and slap Sonic 3 on it and call it a day. These are bar for bar the same games you played in the 90s, and for the 9th time that you've released these titles on a new console, this one definitely feels underwhelming. If I had to put a score on it, I'd say a 7.5 out of 10. It serves its purpose, but that's really all I can say about it. I don't think I'd really ever come back to Sonic Origins, unless I had a really strong itch to play the classic games again. Or alternatively, I can just play Sonic Mega Collection or any of the other classic collections that did it better years ago. I bet you can't play Sonic Origins version of Sonic 2 in the shed. I need a girlfriend.